So we're going to do a brief video with some assembly instructions and a little bit of prep for Marzoni's upcoming promotions, which will start sometime in May. Pretty simplistic across the board, very little prep involved. We are going to go over, again, the assembly and such. So the promotions are going to be a Birria Panini pork dumplings and a spicy sweet garlic sauce, spinach, strawberry spinach salad with choice of chicken, salmon, chicken and mushroom marsala, and a strawberry shortcake cookie. First thing we're going to do is very simple, very easy. This is going to be our base for our marsala, and this is actually an already prepared product. And then we have our marsala. And all I really want to demonstrate is reducing of the marsala, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll make this later on. But so this product should come in frozen. I highly recommend you just pull it, leave it in the cooler. It will state to keep it frozen. We don't want to keep it frozen. So all to do to start with, so we're literally going to take 4 cups of marsala, add it to the pan. You can do this over high heat, low heat, if you're going to walk away and do something else. And all we're going to do is reduce this by half. Just make a visual note of where it is in the pan and, gauge it by half. It doesn't have to be exactly 2 cups, finished product, but it should be pretty close. If you have something a little bit larger bottom, it will help it reduce a little bit faster. So we're going to reduce this, and then we're going to come back to it, incorporate this, and we're going to cool it, and that's going to be our base for the chicken marsala.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so we're going to go back to our marsala reduction here. So you can see it's reduced by about half. So all we're looking to do is concentrate the flavor, to this quantity for consistency purposes, flavor purposes. So we're getting rid of the burnout. We're burning off all the alcohol. So we're going to take our thawed, it's actually a mushroom bisque base, and we're going to incorporate it into this and whisk it until it's smooth. Just add it all at once. It'll take a little bit. It'll look kind of chunky to start with, but work it a little bit and it will smooth out. And that's what we're looking for a finished product. Not this, but once it's smooth. Okay, so it's our finished product as far as what is it called? Chicken and Mushroom Marsala. You can see the difference in the consistency. So we went from something coagulated to something smooth. Do not boil, pretty much constant whisk, probably about 4 minutes, 5 minutes tops. And again, we just want something smooth. For today's purposes, I'm just going to pull off the side because we're actually going to make a chicken marsala. You'll want to cool this and pan it up accordingly and keep it on the line and go from there. We're going to start with a 7-ounce chicken breast. We're going to strip it into 4. So take each lobe, cut it in half. Remove any of the major connective tissue in the middle, again, if you need to. Seasoned flour, we're going to saute. Mushrooms, cremini, again, what we're using now. So after this is cooked, a little bit of garlic. We have our base. And then we're going to finish with an ounce of butter. How does that magic happen, you may ask, or what sorcery is that? I took a 1-pound block of butter and cut it into 16 even, essentially squares. Doesn't have to be scientific or super precise, just approximate. And then we're going to serve it with fettuccine in a bowl. We're going to add some butter substitute, not a copious amount, like we just want enough to lubricate the bottom of the pan. Chicken, seasoned flour, again 4 pieces. Medium-high heat. Remove any excess flour on the chicken or the product going into the pan. All it's going to do is burn, and then you're going to have to different kind of problem. So give it a little shaky shake. I'm just going to saute this till brown on one side. We're going to flip it. When we flip the chicken, we're actually going to add our mushrooms and cook the mushrooms. If you run into any issues, as far as timing goes. You're more than welcome to remove the chicken and then add it back into it, just like you would the chicken and shrimp scampi, that sort of thing. So the ultimate goal is the end result. So we're just looking, we're gonna see lightly browned, sauteed. We're gonna flip the chicken. And this is a chicken and mushroom marsala. So we are gonna add, these are fairly large as far as creminis go, but about 16, so 8 whole mushrooms, 16 halves. And we're gonna see a lot of shrink. Again, these are a little bit on the large side, so at this point, if you need to add any more butter substitute, you know, for the mushrooms because they soak up all that goodness, that's fine as well. So we're just gonna saute this and come back to it. Okay, so mushrooms are cooked. Again, however you get to this result, whether you have to remove the chicken, keep the mushrooms, add a little more butter. You can see there's not a whole lot of residual, maybe just a little bit in there, but very little. This was all cooked together, but whatever works best for you. At this point, we're gonna add approximately a teaspoon of garlic. All we're looking to do is cook it out. You don't want to, you know, serve raw garlic because it's harsh, those kind of things. We're gonna saute it briefly, and then we're gonna add our base to it, about 8 ounces, and then we're gonna mount it or finish it with 1 ounce of butter. So we're gonna add our 8 ounces of base, which will act as the sauce. Hit it with 1 ounce of butter. Use my tongs. Best at room temperature or semi-soft. We're gonna serve with fettuccine in a bowl. So we're gonna go into our makeshift pasta machine. Best we can. We're just gonna work the butter into the sauce. Don't boil it because it will separate. 45 seconds. Make sure the pasta is drained well. Finished results. Decent amount of sauce, which we want. Decent amount of mushrooms, and obviously the chicken over the pasta. As soon as I drain our pasta a bit, we're just gonna plate it up. Pile it up, nice and neat. And all we're gonna do is just put it on top. Nothing special. That's all there is to it. Okay, so this is probably the most difficult thing you're going to encounter as far as prep or tedious, you know, task kind of thing. So this is for the Birria Panini. If no one's familiar, Birria is kind of a south of the border Mexican, generally tacos, kind of caught fire, you know, a few years back. People doing variations, taco, or, you know, again, tacos, burritos, quesadillas, pizzas, sandwiches, all those kind of things. So we're gonna do a panini version, and generally it's a kind of a stew, braise kind of situation with tomatoes, cinnamon, clove, all those kind of things with beef, and then you shred the beef. Well, we just, you know, simplify things. We have a already pre-cooked shredded beef in a birria sauce, and we're gonna combine these two. And again, this is probably the most important part. So we're just going to open the glove up here real quick. So we're just going to open the beef, add it to the, you know, container of your choice, hotel pan, bowl, doesn't really matter. And then we're going to incorporate birria sauce into it and basically kind of work it around a little bit. And I'll show you here in a second. So again, thawed, shredded beef. Keep an eye out for any, you know, anything that's not, you know, connective tissue, anything that's deemed not usable, hunks of fat, such as that, dispose of. Then all we're gonna do, this stuff is dangerous to white coats, if anybody's asking or wondering. I doubt it, but hey, you know. All right, so we're gonna add it. And all we're looking to do is basically season the meat a little bit. You'll see it's pretty red, so it'll actually season the beef. And kind of like to work it with your hands a little bit. We really want it shredded up. Any large pieces break up, obviously. So after we get it marinated or seasoned, let's say. All right, so that part's done. I'm gonna unglove. So now we're gonna separate the liquid from the beef. We reserve the beef, portion the beef, and that'll be, for our panini use, obviously. The reserve any of the liquid, right? So want the beef fairly dry. A little bit of moisture is okay, obviously. Preferred strainer of choice. I like this one because the holes are a little bit larger, and you can working smaller. It's going to be really messy. I'm just going to do a little bit here to give you the gist. So just work it a little bit. It does take a little bit of time. It's not difficult by any means, but it can be slightly more time consuming than probably what you'd like it to be. So after it's pushed through, I'll show you kind of a finish, what we're looking for as far as moisture content. Basically finished right around that, right? So there's still some moisture to it. It's seasoned. You can see it took on a completely different color. We're going to reserve this, and then this will actually be served hot on the side, kind of as a dip. Think of a sort of a South American French dip situation. So again, this will be portioned to 4 ounces. This will be reserved, heated. There'll be instructions, recipes, that sort of thing. So, okay, we've been magically transported to Marzoni's Duncansville pizza area. So we're going to start with bread. This is the birria that we had done earlier with the consomme or broth, and then strained and portioned. Diced white onion. We're going to use that in 2 applications on this. Cilantro also in 2, and then we have shredded jack cheese, and then this is our consomme that has been strained, cut with a little bit of au jus, which there'll be a recipe. Very simple, so I didn't feel like we needed to include it. Obviously, it will be kept hot on one of your hot wells, and it will be served on the side and garnished. So let's assemble the sandwich. Cheese, onion, decent amount, an integral part to it. Cilantro, obviously if somebody doesn't want it, we can make it without it. Beef, spread out. We're on top of the more cheese. Guess you could consider this kind of a form of a grilled cheese. Then we're going to go in our panini grill, press down on it a little bit. 450 degrees, 6.5 minutes. Not a ton of butter. Just kind of keep it from sticking. And just press like you have been doing with the tuna melt and Reubens and things like that. And we're going to let it ride. Okay, so panini comes off. We're going to cut a little bit of a bias, shingle it a little bit. We're going to have to go into a large oval because we're going to serve the consomme broth in a rectangle side dish. Pardon my hands. And then we're going to garnish this with additional chopped onion and additional chopped cilantro. And just as a little bit of a tip, I guess, with the cilantro, stem of cilantro is actually edible, so there's really no need to pick individual leaves off, those kind of things. It's tender enough that, as long as you're not going towards the bottom or the woody or the thick stuff, it basically just eliminates waste. So, and then obviously serve it with the side of choice. Okay, so these are going to be our pork dumplings. We have obviously a pork similar pot sticker situation, gyoza. We're gonna work from these from thawed. You know, it's 100% cooked product, so there's no concerns there. Probably 5-day shelf life from thawed. And then we have our sauce, which is a combination of basically sauces in our inventory that work for this kind of application. And then we have some yum yum that we're going to serve on the side. We're going to garnish with some sesame seeds and a little bit of scallion. So we're going to start with these again from thawed, 6 to an order, pasta basket. Can't remember how many I got in there. So we're going to do 6 to an order. We're going to go into our makeshift pasta machine for about 45 seconds. Just looking to get a little heat on it. Kind of start the process. Then you have a saute pan. And you're gonna add our sauce. This is a sweet and spicy garlic sauce. It consists of sweet chili, plum, soy, garlic, a little bit of water, and a little bit of sriracha. Again, so every sauce that we have that, you know, is good for this application. About 5 ounces. And start the process, just heat it up a little bit. Very sugary, so you'll be very careful it doesn't burn. 45 seconds. Add the pot stickers. You'll see that very liquidy at the time, right now, currently. But what we're going to do is we're going to reduce it until it sticks to the actual dumpling itself, and that's essentially the entire process. We don't necessarily need any browning or anything like that. We just want the sauce to be kind of sticky, if you will. Kind of a little play on, you know, like a kind of Asian Oriental kind of base wing. While those are reducing a little bit, we are going to serve on our black slate, flat black slate plates, if you will. 6 to an order. Again, garnish side of yum yum. Just, you know, serve as well. Obviously, you have to be careful. That's also one of the reasons you got to be careful that you reduce the sauce enough so it doesn't spread and run all over the plate itself. So finish, you can see there's extreme, like basically no liquid left. All the sauce is sticking for the most part. We're not too concerned about any of that residual there. So we're gonna go into our black slate. Nice, neat little soldiers, all in a row. All facing the same way. And I'm gonna get some of the residual out of here for picture purposes. Just gonna hit a little bit of sesame seed, a little bit of scallion. Very simple, things we already use. And yum yum because it's really good. So there you go, there you have it. So next is going to be our strawberry spinach salad, spinach strawberry salad, whatever you'd like to call it. Pretty classic combination, spinach, what are these things called? Strawberries, red onion, feta, candy pecans, and a strawberry balsamic vinaigrette, which we will be making. Very simple. Balsamic as our base, and then we're going to incorporate some strawberry sauce that we're also going to use later on in our strawberry shortcake. Here are kind of the portions, rough portions. So you can see about, you know, a little more than a half of a 2-ounce souffle, about 3/4 of a souffle of feta, same with the onion, and about 10 pieces of strawberries, depending on size. And all we did is just kind of destem and then quarter the strawberries. Very simple. This will be offered with chicken and or salmon. Not and, but you know, you get the gist. So baby spinach in a bowl. No need to pout or smash it down. We get some natural height out of it. And then top as normal. There you have it. I mean, as simple as it can get. Again, chicken or salmon. Dressing on the side.